All right, we've got yet another awesome interview for you guys. It's Dr. Avi Tuschman. He's written the book, Our Political Nature, the Evolutionary Origins of What Divides Us. Wait till you see what this leads to.
Nature has carved out these distributions of our personalities over thousands of generations for a reason. And there are these fundamental conflicts in nature, conflicts of our ancestors have had to calculate self-interest against altruism over and over again. And there isn't an obvious answer to some of these social conflicts. If there was, everybody would be the same. There's actually a debate right now about, in these kind of books, whether we are the way we are, whether we've evolved for the benefit of a group or society, that's called group selection, or whether we are the way we are because our actions have had an impact at the individual level or at the level of genes. In other words, what was it about the ways that our ancestors, and even today, because these processes are going on right now in demographic trends that are changing the face of our country and our world, what is it about the way that we're surviving and also reproducing in differential or unequal ways that is going to have an impact on future populations?
Like, to what degree do we have choice?
Well, if they had the exact same genes and the exact same experience, I'd say it's highly likely.
Right.
Of course, if they had very different experiences, they could have come out different. But again, it's really a philosophical thing. It's very hard to do an experiment like that. The closest we can do is look at experiments of twins who are separated at birth. And we can look at the fraternal twins and the monozygotic, the identical twins, and calculate about what proportion of this variance is coming from their genes. And the kind of take-home point here is that it's a higher, the heritability of these attitudes is quite a bit higher than most of us assumed. If you do find yourself assuming that the world is basically fair, it's healthy to try to see it the other way from time to time, and vice versa. If you think everything is kind of rigged and the system's always, everyone's sort of a victim, it's good to practice looking at the world in the other way. After the 2008 crisis, when we saw the fallout, our political spectrum expanded. So we saw the Occupy movement to the far left of the spectrum, as well as the Tea Party movement on the far right. And that's normal. In fact, you can look at countries around the world, and the more economic pressure they're under, the lower the GDP per capita of the country, the wider political spectrums they have. And as countries get richer, like in Brazil, as a sixth of the middle class, a sixth of the population went into the middle class in the last decade, you see a much greater political moderation in the country, and a totally different kind of protest, where people are demanding more education, more for their taxes, where they have less faith in government officials. Whereas people who are fearing they're going to leave the middle class are willing to entertain the idea of a much stronger political authority, to look for help beyond themselves as an individual. But this doesn't help us know whether they'll choose someone on the left or the right. This really comes down mostly to their personality.